Good evening, everyone. This is Deidre with Are You a CPS Victim Like Me? I am joined here by my follow up part two guest from last week, Stephanie, and she's also joined with her husband. And they will do a small little recap in a couple minutes of what happened last week and then pick back up from there. But anybody that is watching today that didn't watch last week, maybe if you want to go back and watch that video first, then this one would probably make much more sense. But a little introduction. I am a parent that once went through a CPS case myself in 2020, and I'm still in the process of fighting to get my two older boys home here soon. And I always leave this part out, but unfortunately, my youngest I lost to adoption due to all of this. And the ironic part of it all is I was 8 months pregnant with him when my case first opened, and so it's kind of like now that I know all the corruption about CPS, it was kind of like they had their eye on the prize with seeing I was about to give birth. So my youngest did get adopted, but I am fortunate enough in the fact that I do get to still visit with him periodically. And hopefully, as he gets older and maybe becomes a little bit more aware of the situation, and then my two older boys hopefully being reunified back home, maybe the situation will be better in the future, if that makes sense. But I found this attorney that I do the platform under through my process of going through the case, and his name is Vincent W. Davis, and he practices here out of Southern California. And I always forget to mention this as well, but if you ever want to be a guest on my show in the future, you do qualify for a free 15-minute consultation with him if you happen to be going through a case yourself or just need to speak to a CPS qualified attorney. He's been practicing over 35 years, and he is definitely someone that I feel has the expertise, but also the passion that really wants to fight for the children to remain home with their biological parents. So I think that's all of the intro that I like to give. But other than that, I don't want to take too much time away from my guests. So if anything, Stephanie will introduce herself and her husband. I'm so sorry, but I don't know your name or forgot your name. I feel bad. Husband, what's your name?
Stephanie Lee. This is my husband, Dane.
Lee.
So,
Okay, great. So go ahead and take the floor, Stephanie, and tell us a little bit about last week.
I'm going to give the quickest recap I can to make it make sense. Our son was a preemie. He had seizures. We took him to a hospital. That hospital took him to another hospital. The other hospital they took him to was a children's hospital in the state of Florida, city of Miami. And that led to CPS getting involved because he was having seizures and he was a preemie. And apparently, excuse me, in the state of Florida, that is a pretty unknown thing. Preemies don't have seizures. It's unexplained. Well, ironically, it's very known and it happens every single day, 7 days a week. But in our case, we don't really know why, but we were targeted by whether it was a doctor, whoever targeted us, and we instantly became victims of CPS. And this was not our first time being parents. I do have, at the time, I had a 15-year-old son and a 22, 23-year-old daughter. I had raised successfully without any of this nonsense. So we had the preemie, hospital, seizures, unexplained, CPS jumps in and expedited TPR. There is no mediation. There was no case plan. There was nothing other than expedited TPR. And it didn't really matter what questions we asked. Well, could we do this? Could we do that? Could we do anything? Nope, it's just expedited TPR. And I had a public defender at the time that told me my best option would be place the child for adoption before the department does. And I'm sorry, I just hear somebody knocking at the door. Yes, place the child up for adoption before the department does. Because once the department does it, you're never going to see him again. And they even went as far as, oh, your son has a scar from an EEG and we'll remove it. You'll never know him. You'll never find him. And that was our initial story, just from simply driving him to the hospital, because we had definitely noticed that he was having a seizure. And so,
Well, I mean,
data.
when it comes down to it, I mean, it was perhaps the roughest experience of our lives. You know, you can't really summarize it all at once and put it into words, because you know what I'm saying. Who feels it knows it, and it's not an instant gratification thing, because if you look at it, it's a slow process. They drag you through every single possible thing they could drag you through. From the way how we invited these people with open arms to say, "Oh, you want to know what's going on? Oh, no problem at all. That's okay." No, we were so on point with, because we thought that, everyone was on the same page as it relates to, the kids. Boy, we were wrong, so wrong. And when we
It's
initially
really truly
invited,
that CPS is out there for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
and yeah,
Would have
it's
never thought.
we would have never thought.
And that's where we left off last week,
Right.
was our confusion, because it really took a moment. Even after I saw what was going on, I was confiding in them and telling them any and everything I could think of,
Yeah.
thinking that they're here to help me.
Oh, yeah.
Because something is going wrong and I don't understand what's going wrong. And it really took me and that's why I do what I
Even
do.
the foster
online.
parents.
We were so blessed.
We were bamboozled.
We were so blessed with our foster parent.
Oh,
really?
well, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
not only
See, but mine on the flip side, I think we have a delay.
we do,
I think we have a small delay.
But I'm trying to hold back.
It might be my internet. But, okay. Well, real quick, I just wanted to make a note of that. But my foster parents, on the other hand, obviously they wanted to adopt, and they literally came into
Wow.
the picture because they couldn't have children of their own. And then they got my child placed with them as their first placement. And little did I know that not until my TPR hearing, when they showed up with their own lawyer and were outside of the courtroom, and my mother-in-law came, and they didn't know who she was, and she purposely sat right next to them to eavesdrop, and they literally were saying, we need to hurry this case along so that we can keep our son. But again, they played us to the very last possible part, to where, of course, they came into this knowing that this is what they wanted and this is what they got, but they were the perfect puppeteers for CPS. I mean, they were the ones that even did our visit with my youngest, meaning, of course, they're writing the reports, meaning they never really had anything bad to say, but they wrote it in such a biased way to where they didn't even nearly include all the effort and everything that we always put into our visit with our youngest. But again, it's just part of the whole plan. Everybody that CPS has a part of their plan, is for their narrative.
Right.
I mean, even my mother, thankfully, she does 2 older boys, but let's just say I lost my mother and my whole family in the process of all this. And still to this day, my mother's mindset is, if you didn't get your kids back now, you still must have not been doing something right, even though she's now just as bad as they are because she's addicted to the money. And it's just really unfortunate because, again, everybody always wants to say the best interests of the children. But in reality, the second that they tear those kids away from their biological parents, instant trauma, and then it just supersedes. And I don't feel like they ever recover unless they do get to go home. But in reality, it's like they all benefit from the dollar amount. And then these kids are just left to fend for themselves for the rest of their life, being broken from their family and then some. But I don't want to take away from your story. The foster parents is what really got me, because my youngest son, he did not deserve this. He's now being raised as a half black, half white child with Mormon parents that are blonde haired, blue eyed, whiter than can be. And they also did this to another child that's Hispanic, a little girl. And this is the life that he gets to be brought up in now. For what reason? For the dollar?
Right.
But anyways.
Our foster mother, she was very genuine pro us. I don't know if she was genuine pro other parents, but she was genuine pro us. She absolutely went out of her way to point out things at doctor's appointments and so on and so forth, to make sure that we understood that we were being bamboozled, and she wanted us to fight. And she made it clear to me that she wanted to adopt, and she made it clear that she was our son. However, she wanted us to have our son back if we could make that happen. And we really got blessed, honestly.
It's really a scary thing.
It
you know,
is.
when you think about it, even someone saying to you, I would love to adopt your kid, like, you know, it's the intentions. You can only hope that the intentions are always good, but it's so scary to even hear that, to even fathom that. What do you mean you want to adopt my kid? Just like you just pointed out, like your 3-year-old son, now he's susceptible to growing with
Mormons.
Yeah,
And
it's
so nothing wrong with that. It's just not, it's not going to fit well. But
there's a lot wrong with that. That's for another topic.
We commend you because you keep fighting. You're still in the fight. It's not over until it's over. It's never over. You know, you keep doing what you're doing, because in a nutshell, that's what it's all. But that's what it comes down to. You champion your kids. No one will be a better advocate for your kids than you. That's what it all comes down to. You know, and they'll try to drag it out, just like you pointed out, and they'll try to drag you through the mud to see how far you will go for your kids.
So where we left off was, I can't say that, my ex-husband,
right?
How he got in the picture, how you feel about it, and
right. Oh man,
how all of that transpired. But before you go into how you feel about, like, how did he get in the picture? What was the situation? That's really where I had left off.
What, you want to go in there?
No, go. Well, how did he get into the picture?
Well, in a nutshell, you guys were basically divorce papers were like signed, like it was done. And this hero of a man, because that's what he is literally on the pedestal for me, you know, because he didn't have to step in. He put the baby first, and all the differences of everyone aside. It was non-existent.
But he also put his kids first, right, which was their half siblings.
Right.
And he did not want my older two children to lose their little new baby brother that they were just in love with. And that's a big deal. He loves his kids more than life. I mean, really, like, his kids are gonna come first. So
yeah, I remember the night, you know, we were in the hospital, the emergency room or whatnot, and you know, I was like, we were just so out of it. And here he comes, and he gave me a hug. He embraced me.
That was the first time they met face to face.
Right.
Was that night in the hospital.
He embraced me and told me it's going to be all right.
Yep, like, he walked in and said, "Hey, Steph," and he gave me the biggest hug. And he said, "I got you no matter what it is." And he goes, "So, where's Dane?" They had never met face to face. He only knew rumors about, like, we had never discussed a relationship.
Which one of you is a sibling of 35?
Him. He has 35 siblings. From this guy right here.
That's you.
Wait, hold on. Show him That guy right there has 35 children.
Well,
Yeah.
that in itself, wow. Can I ask you who your father is?
Yes.
Or you have to say a
The
name.
late.
Or is that secretive?
No. That's just the late great Bunny
I
Striker.
feel like it has a way of how you've been brought up and the passion you have for it.
Well,
Shamefully enough,
We have such
he
a
has
delay.
35 siblings, and he had a father who is a millionaire celebrity who invented reggae music.
yes.
Nobody chipped in. But here is my little old
I
ex-husband.
knew it. I told my husband,
Yeah.
I said his dad is somebody.
Yeah, my dad.
Yep, so that's him.
my
Money
dad-
Striker Lee. He literally invented reggae music. They just
Yeah.
he just had a birthday that passed from heaven. And there's a lot of videos out right now about his creation of reggae music. There's a lot of pictures of him with the Marleys and a lot of people. And even people that you know today, his dad created. But none of these people, and that's why my ex-husband is
Oh yeah.
like somebody. Because 35 siblings and this father, no, they
Wow.
they called a lot during the time to hear the gossip. Once we were reunified and it was over, we invited all of them to our son's first birthday. Guess who showed up to his first birthday? The case managers and the case workers that initially were completely against us, that fell in love with us. They came. We had to keep the cameras off of them for obvious reasons, for their job. They showed up, but none of these people showed up. They just wanted the.
It's heartbreaking, really, because my dad was a superhero to me. Like I really, and I still miss him every day. It's just, yeah, he did not step up, and the family. Sometimes you want your family to do the right thing, and they never do. And when everything comes out in the wash is when and they still don't step up. So it's we've learned to not let the family that we come from disrupt the family that we've built, so to speak. So it's
Listen, my mom.
Okay, we
We
keep digressing, and that's probably my fault. But real quick, let's keep the story going for people that are curious.
right. There's
to
a
know how
lot.
it plays out. So, we were with your ex-husband comes into the picture, and he's now going to be taking, I think, temporary custody of your son.
Yeah, we're
correct.
We're here. How do you do? Just press it.
Wait, what happened? Are you there?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So we just had like the most major delay.
What happened?
Repeat whatever you just said. Are we
So
on
do I,
video?
and I really hate that this is doing this.
Okay, so we do not. Oh, there we go. My husband hit the video off.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't see
You can now.
Oh. Okay. I still don't see you. It's just black.
Oh, you can't see us?
We're on.
No,
We're
it's
on.
just a black screen.
Oh wow.
Okay, I think it might be
There you
from
are.
your.
There you are. You're
So
good.
there's a delay.
You're good. But now I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You can't.
You're muted.
Oh wow.
No, it's that we haven't.
You're
talked
muted.
yet in her camera.
You still can't hear us?
There. Perfect. Hear you
Okay.
and see you.
Oh,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll get through this eventually. Sorry, anybody watching. Bear with us. Okay, so go ahead and pick back up with your ex has your young one.
All right,
Go
ahead. You tell your version.
Well,
Tell how it happened.
Well, we needed someone to basically supervise our visits. After they came up
No,
with
we needed someone to take custody.
to take custody, but you say initially how it happened was
No, we already did the supervision.
Oh,
it's
you
now
already did that part?
the ex
Okay.
having the child.
Okay,
How
so
did that come out?
we needed someone to take custody, which is Mama Bear. She came up with the entire. She did the home study. She did her due diligence. Like she nailed it, right? And the ex-husband, my brother, he was well, not my brother. I call him my brother, but you get what I'm saying. He stepped up to the plate, man, and he was there. He was like, okay, whatever we need to do, let's do this. Let's do this thing. There wasn't any hiccups or anything. We needed
He
to
did
get
his
the baby.
CPR certification.
Everything. We
And
need to get the baby out the system. Let's do that. That's priority. That's the objective. And that's pretty much the only thing that was important. You know, every one of us were on the same page. Even their kids together. Everyone stepped up. You know.
no, we did have a lot of nonsense in the court.
Oh yeah.
This is weird. Why is her ex-husband taking y'all's kid?
Oh
We
yeah.
don't like this. This is weird. And they tried to give us more pullback, but it bit them because the judge said, this is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I never see anything like this I've never seen anything like this in all of my time as a judge.
Right.
This is incredible. And he granted the change of placement.
And you know what's so crazy? What the judge was on his last leg out. He was on his way out. So he was getting ready to retire. I think this was his
last hearing. Our change of placement hearing was his last hearing he ever saw. And he went out with a good one and said, let's give it to the man. Then we got a new judge. Obviously.
Is this the judge that you still don't know how he got?
Oh, yes, that's the
rid of
judge. That's the judge that we
Is
don't know how we got.
The one where you had the flyers?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And he retired. So his very last hearing he ever saw was our change of placement.
Sure was. Yeah, and they tried every single thing.
Oh man, they came up with it.
They tried.
I still feel like your flyer is what obviously got you that.
That's what got us there because I did not have any form of representation at the time. But yeah, definitely.
She just made sure all T's were, like.
But you aren't sure if the judge that did was the one that got the flyer too, though, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So that judge retires. We end up with a new judge who it was so even more awkward because our new judge knew zero about dependency or any form of case law.
Right.
So now the judge that we thought we had just won over retired that evening. Hung up his hat, it was over. And now here we are. We're going to go to a TPR trial with this guy. And now you've been in this. So each case takes about, a long case when you're in court takes about 20 minutes. And that's very rare. It's usually about 5 to 10 minutes. This guy was taking an hour at a time on each individual case.
He was new to the entire thing.
And I am with these people that are nodding off, and I'm falling asleep because I've been in the courtroom now for like 5 hours just to say my 5 minutes of yes, sir, and I understand.
But, back to what we were saying initially, ex-husband went on the stand, took the stand, he nailed it. Like, he sold it. Like, he nailed it. Right?
He sold it from, like, truth. Like, that's my baby. Like, not his baby, but that's my ex-wife's baby. That's my kid's sibling. He's mine. He's not living in a system.
All these measures, extra, like they wanted to know, is that this secure? Is this blah blah? They've asked a million questions, and for every question they asked, some of the questions they didn't even get to ask because they were already asked.
So
from my
prior
attorney.
to us going to court, my husband had a private attorney, and I would write out what you're going to ask, what you're going to answer, what the answers are, and these, and then I would give her a list of these will be the obstacles. They're going to ask about surveillance. Will CPS have access to them? I already wrote it all out prior to the hearing. I was the attorney in this case.
Oh yeah, and she already planned it.
I'll wait till my voice comes through.
Oh, sorry.
Somebody that's watching the show, if you could see the comments, the person's name is Biggie Johnson. And they said this guy is too off topic, and then he went on to say, geez. So let me just tie everything in for anybody that doesn't quite understand what we're talking about. Story number 1, part 1 was last week. So if you want to watch that, maybe this will make more sense. But I also want to speak up on this comment because we are talking about the fact that not only did the ex-husband of the mother take temporary custody of their child, but anybody hearing that, number 1, would think that is too out of the box scenario. So they're explaining how this even came about, how it worked out in their benefit, and how they were able to not only still succeed from this, but kind of more or less the details of this part of their story. So I don't know if that helps you, Biggie Johnson, but maybe you didn't quite follow along, but I don't see how he's being off topic when he's just going into the details about how the ex-husband of the mother had temporary placement of their child and how it came about and the details. So I just wanted to pinpoint that because, again, maybe we are all over the place for right now, but if you've been following since last week and now this week, she is a success story of getting her child back at the end of the day from CPS. So again, maybe hearing more of the details of what this couple went through in order to succeed and get their child back home, in my mind, is kind of a rarity because not many stories that come on here ever talk about the fact that they were able to reunify with their child. And this story ends in that way. So again, maybe that helps clarify the details of what we're talking about right here. So again, go ahead. Sorry, continue.
So let me jump in really quick. Thank you, Biggie Johnson, for the compliment.
Did I throw you off?
No, I saw that last little. I love that.
I understand that
because I say it all the time, and he's always all over the place. But hey, anyway, let me just jump in because just sit your hat back. Hat back.
I think Dad is doing an awesome job, and I love that the father is here for a change. So don't let Biggie get to you. That's why I wanted to speak on it. Don't you start to be quiet because I'm enjoying it.
It's okay.
Yeah, but so yes.
Now he's gonna feel awkward.
No, he's not. He doesn't feel awkward if his life depends on it.
Okay.
Don't worry. No, that makes him feel awkward. Okay, so my son is living with my ex-husband. Okay, we are now.
Okay, but we do have like 30 minutes left, so I want your story to get to the end. So, okay, we'll get over the part of the ex.
Yep. Okay, so he lives with the ex, and we're visiting with the ex. The ex supervises the visits. That is all, again, our doing. All motions that we filed, those are very important motions to file. And then we move forward. I mean, our story really ends with the ex-husband because that was our son's last placement prior to reunification. So let me get into our reunification because it's probably going to take about 20 minutes. So the way this goes is we got a medical expert that we had spoke about last week. So if you didn't see it, it's there. I'll give as much detail briefly as I can. We hired a medical expert through my public defender that the state paid for, which is a resource that everyone should know about. However, we made sure that no one knew about this. Our friends in the department, our real friends in the department, nobody knew about this. So our medical expert was our little secret until the very last day, the very last hour, down to the very last second of filing time for discovery for our expedited termination of parental rights hearing. So once we file this, okay, we get a phone call. Well, we don't. I do. From my public defender. And this phone call is like 3:00 in the morning. And the phone call basically went like, hey, I'm sorry to scare you calling you so late at night, but something is going on. And I just received a message from the attorney for the department, and he is saying they would like to drop the case. So you have to understand that we didn't even get a mediation. We were expedited TPR. We did not get a mediation. We did not get any form of service. We were told, oh, you guys already passed drug testing. You have stable housing. You guys have sufficient income. So we cannot give you services for these things. So we can't give you a case plan because there's nothing to give you services on. The only thing is your son's seizures are unexplained. We don't know why he had seizures. So with all that being said, there was really never anything offered. So now I get this phone call of they're just going to back out. Okay, so how does this work? What do you mean they're just going to back out? Like, because I was on the fight mode. I was ready for this trial. I mean, I was really ready for this trial. He was ready for this trial. So they said, well, the thing, so what she had told me was basically like, they're just going to drop it. And she was like, Mom, how do you feel? And I said, no, let's go to trial. Let's do it. She goes, there is no trial. They dropped it. There is no trial to attend. She goes, but Dad is going to have to do a case plan. And you're reunified. Dad does the case plan, and then he's reunified. I'm like, wait, why is Dad getting a case plan? Why didn't he get a case plan a year ago? She said, do you really want me to start asking these questions? Or do you really just let them walk away with egg on their face and say, oopsie? And I'm like, really, oopsie? That's it? You mean y'all took my breastfed, cloth diapered, creamy, newborn baby for 1 year? And he was living with my ex-husband in a hospital without his mom and dad's support and in foster care. For y'all to say, oopsie, we'll just let you have him back now? No. That is so irrational. And the problem is that it happens to so many people. It's not just me. I'm glad it happened to me. Right. And I'm going to tell you why I'm glad it happened to me. Because I won. But there was never an option for me to lose because I'm not losing. I'm not the type. But I'm so glad it happened to me because there are so many parents that are so different than me. They listen to CPS say, oh, you have to place your kid for adoption, or you're not going to win, or you're done. And they actually hear it as it's real. No. You're not telling me anything. A judge is going to tell me. And then once a judge tells me, I'm going to hire that judge's judge to tell me. No one is taking my kid. And I am glad it happened because, you know, I can help. But it's
real quick. I'm going to enter because I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but did we get a chance to really go into details about the whole police report and really not police report, lie detector test, and how that really, I think, got you your kid back?
Well,
did we talk about that at all last week?
When it comes down to it, you know, they had
because this is where
they had
tell
more.
them why you went and took it.
Well,
how it went down and the outcome.
We were just moping at the house, and I saw how discombobulated she was, and
we were watching Steve Wilkos.
So against my better judgment, against attorneys everything, no. I went down there. And they asked me, would I be interested in taking a lie detector test? And I said, yes. Oh, okay, let's do it. And then they tested me more than multiple times, and I passed it because the detective was like, this is our baby. If you're going to lie to us, just don't. Because, you know, just don't. So, like, 2 different detectives did the same. So, you know, that was that. And once that happened, their entire demeanor changed towards me. You know, the guy was saying, well, before that happened, it could be a possible arrest. Once that happened, everything changed, completely changed. So my advice to anyone out there, if you just do it, you know, even if your attorney says don't do everything that you possibly can, because that's what I did.
But let me see something, babe.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait. Go ahead.
Explain why you took a lie detector test. What exactly did they want to prove? Like if you had harmed your child or not? And then because you didn't obviously fail the test, not once, but twice, then you were in court with what? A fill-in caseworker that happened to hear you mention in court to the judge. And, you know, my husband passed the lie detector test twice, and she clued into that part and contacted her supervisor of the public defender's office, not CPS, but public defender's office, and which then got the supervisor involved, which then got you this medical expert, which was paid for through the state. But in the meantime, everything was kept hush-hush from anybody else knowing about this expert, which entails then got you kind of like the win, right? Because when they found out about all this the night before court, did I come through okay, or was I breaking up?
No, you're breaking up. So let me just break it down. Okay, so the way it happened was he took the lie detector test.
Yeah, go ahead.
We went to court. I get to court. I don't have a public defender. I have no attorney. My attorney had been arrested for her own personal issues. There's someone taking her place. The person taking her place says, we're sorry, you know, still same old expedited TPR. I said, fine. But do you understand that a few days ago, my husband took a lie detector test several times? He passed. Someone needs to do something here. For real, because this is like unlawful. And I did threaten lawsuits, and you know, I don't think they care because they hear that so much. Anyway, I get a phone call. Phone call is from the director of the attorney's office, the public defender's office, who says, hey, you just told my associate your husband passed the lie detector test. I'm on it. I got you. Now I get involved with her. She becomes my attorney. And since I became her attorney, okay, I wrote it all. I told her what to say. I told her we needed the funds for the public defender. I explained to her how we're going to get the funds for the for the medical experts. I did it because I'm the mom. You know, I felt it. I knew it. I need it. I'm not losing.
Did all the research.
So, yeah.
And this person wasn't really involved with CPS, right? Because they're just from the public defender.
They were just a public defender. Now,
they're not in cahoots with all of CPS.
That's
right.
I know.
CPS
they are in cahoots. I'm going to be honest with you. They all are in cahoots. And the reason being is because they see each other every day, all day. They go to lunch together. They're at the same courthouse. They share the same offices sometimes. So there is no not in cahoots, but no, they weren't in cahoots, especially the director, who absolutely despised their attorney specifically. She just couldn't stand it. And she really did not like our case manager. They had problems in the past, but that was not why we won. That was just personal little The reason we won was because we had a dang on medical expert. Our child was placed outside of foster care, so nobody could claim our child had bonded with anyone. And we had support. And all of our support was either my mother or my ex-husband's family, including his sister, nephews, nieces. That's it.
There's one piece to the puzzle that we haven't. So the detective.
Oh yeah.
He refused. He was subpoenaed because he was supposed to testify on their behalf. And after I did that,
restraining order.
He said he wants nothing to do with this. He leaned in to the state. Leave me alone. From his attorney, reached out to them. Just leave me alone. I will not testify on your behalf. So even
he placed a restraining order. For lack of better words, he placed a restraining order against the department, so they could not harass him, bully him, or ask him.
That was a major blow
to be in our hearing. And when that happened,
because they kept on saying there's going to be an arrest any day now. Any day now, there's going to be. So when that happened, that was a complete blow to them.
Well, see, and that's kind of another thing that I always like to bring kind of light to, in the fact that how can all of these parents not only get their children ripped from them, but then get proposals some sort of abuse, and you still lose your child at the end of the day. You're my child to where I lose my child. How come there was never anything criminally charged against me? It's not making sense.
Look at the one and again, something criminally charged. Look at the girl that was on Holly the week before me. She was in jail for 3 weeks.
Frozen?
I have such a delay, and I'm sorry to anybody watching, but it's making it very difficult. I apologize. If it's not one thing, I was just talking to your husband about this in the beginning when you were kind of trying to find your seating to be on one camera, but I think for people watching, you can get the gist of what we're trying to say. But again, it's just, so unfortunate, because at the end of the day, if I never had a case myself, I would have been the typical parent that if I would have heard somebody got their children to take children for no reason. But wow, was I wrong. And that's kind of the reason why I do this show too, because if I can help save a family out there to get to know what CPS is really about to do to you a little bit sooner, and hopefully save a child from being adopted out, then I have to do with this show. And again, it makes me feel like being away from my kids now for what, literally 5 years this month, this nightmare happened to me. And I never feel like I'm fighting enough. So again, that's why I like to do this show, because not only does it bring attention to the attorney that I do this platform under, to hopefully bring a sense of resource to somebody, because even if you can't afford to retain him, because he is expensive, but he also is worth it, I feel like. But he puts out so much knowledge on YouTube, Facebook. There's many different platforms that he uses, but it's all free. I mean, the amount of videos that you could go on YouTube and watch of his, you could almost, I feel like, be an attorney yourself if you really sat there and paid attention and watched his videos. But again, another reason why I do the show, to mention to him. And 15 minutes left or so. I think you've kind of finished your story, but maybe just talk about a little bit of present day, like how it is.
Really
quick. Speak about whatever you want.
Because I know my mom is on here, and like, listen, let me tell you something. We have survived present day and past day and repercussions from past day because of my mom. And I'm not even going to get into our history, but my mom has really, 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 I mean, she was at the front line. She came in, she went to doctors, even when I'm telling her, shush, stop, be quiet. She pushes me aside, like, let me handle this as your mom. I am also, and that's something that's hard for me to understand, because I'm there as my son's mom. She's there as my mom. So, I mean, that's a big deal, and I need to make it known, because I know that she's on here watching, and I really need to make it known.
The reason I keep muting my mic is because I can hear you good through my TV, mute myself, but when I listen to you through my computer, it's like every other word. It's horrible.
Oh.
So that's the background saying, like, what's going on? Why can't I hear? Why can't I hear it? But I think it's just a support system for you. And that's really fortunate too, because like I said earlier, I'm on the opposite spectrum. I basically lost my whole family when my case opened, and I have not really spoken to my mother since this all started, and she has my 2 older boys. So as much as you might think that that was a good situation, it's in, I guess, I mean, the worst, because it's my own kind of keeping my kids from me and all of the horrible corruption that, if you can imagine, comes with it. But granted, at the end of the day, am I happy that my kids are with them, every month, if not twice a month, like I do? But the brainwashing and the trauma that my kids have to endure every day, knowing that they're witnessing my own mother basically treat me
like a paycheck,
her daughter, like this, is also another, wound I guess I'll have to try and help heal once my kids do come home, because again, oh, this is so frustrating. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm going to let you finish off the show. Because I'm getting frustrated with this internet, and it's bothering me, and I don't want it to come out to the guests as all jumbled, mumbled. So, maybe speak about anything present day that he's achieving, being with his parents.
Yep. So present, we have no issues with these people. We haven't since our case closed. A, because we don't do anything that gets us in trouble, and B, because they know better. They know that I was not the one to fight, because I'm going to research, I'm going to document, everything's coming in writing, mainly because my mom would tell me to. But yes, I was on it. but you cannot listen to them when they tell you, oh, it's expedited, you're done. No. They can't tell you anything. All they can do is try to get you to settle and back out. You have to go and see a judge. And if a judge isn't in your near future, go file your own motions. Go on ChatGPT. I didn't have ChatGPT. Go on ChatGPT, start looking up, hey, what motions can I file to get my kid back? You start working there and make it happen. Make it happen. If you are an innocent, good family. I'm not saying this, on the other side. I'm saying if you're an innocent, good family, good parents, and you did the best that society would require, not that you personally would require, but that society would require. I'm not condoning anything otherwise. But my husband, who was the suspect, he is like the dad. He's the dad. Like, for real. He's like the father of our son. I raise our other baby. She's all mine. But our son, the one that he was the suspect to, is his kid. He's the one that can get our nonverbal son to talk, that can get him to cooperate in school. He is really the parent. Us walking away from this case and dad having this case plan and me walking away like, hey, it's not like that. He's the parent. Without him, our son is not going to thrive properly. So, it's a shame, because had we fallen and fell into these traps and listened and obeyed and lost, even if we didn't listen and obey, we had just simply lost, I cannot imagine where my son would be today. But most definitely, I cannot imagine where he would be without him. Because their dynamic is this really cool thing. And it's this cowboy, and it's rough and tough, but it's also so soft and sweet. But it's so I can't do it. Mine is, you're going to your room, you're in trouble. Okay, baby boy, come give mommy hugs. I can't do what dad does. And these people would have pulled my son away from that.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt, but I know it's a delay.
Yep.
But that's the main reason why I wanted dad to come on. Because again, not many dads come on and speak about this kind of story, or, come on and just pour their heart out like us moms do, I feel like, most of the time. But again, I just want to give you that pat on the back, dad, because again, if that wasn't for you to go down to that police station and say you wanted that lie detector test, because again, if you're innocent, and you're going to do whatever you can to fight for your children. Yep. And you were just like, I don't care. I need to do something to bring light to the fact that we did not abuse our child, and, they need to know. And so not only do, I give you kudos for that, but I wanted a father to come on and speak, because we don't. Wife Stephanie is saying,
oh yeah,
you also have this connection with your son that it's just amazing. And if anybody ever wants to go on your social media pages of their children and really like to break that traumatized for the rest of his life. But fortunate, you both poured in your heart, soul, everything to your child, and you were able to come out on top and succeed, and your child is obviously going to benefit from that for the rest of his life. But again, I wanted you to come on mainly for that reason too, because I told Stephanie that the videos I saw were not only your family, but for, your son in that situation. So again, I wanted to highlight that. And of course, Stephanie, I felt like I've already known her for forever, and I've only known you guys, less than a month? So it's weird how these kind of situations can pull people together. But, you know, when you're fighting for your children in a situation like this, it's like you almost still can't believe that this is what really is happening
Right.
in our world today. And you almost want to still think that it's not really happening, but it is. So hopefully by us doing these videos and sharing our stories, that maybe one day this will come to an end and families won't be torn apart, because this is our future, our children. And if this is going to continue to happen, I mean, I only can imagine what's going to be like, you know, when our kids are our age, and God forbid they have to deal with it too. Because I feel like once you're in the system, it's kind of like you're already then going to be attacked. Like our kids are going to be attacked if they ever have kids. And it's just going to be a repeated cycle. And so hopefully, you know, we can all come together and fight to hopefully abused and need to be taken out of their homes. But not to cut you guys off, because I could talk to you guys for forever, because your stories, you know, of course, us other parents, but this delay is bugging me, and I don't want it to come off as that as to the guest. But how about for the next couple minutes, if you want to have any last words to share, or how people could find you if they want to look more into your story, maybe speak about that, and then we could probably wrap the show up. So go ahead, Steph.
Our TikTok for Team Kate,
or Dad,
so I can see what the username is. So I literally posted a video tonight precisely of what you're saying, and it was all about, like, listen, we all have our own personal pages that we're trying to get clout and stuff on. This page that we have for our son is specifically for parents like us that were lost and had no idea to find a way. And like I said earlier today, I got a text that this girl got her child placed with some relatives and out of foster care, and she had a private attorney, and the private attorney just didn't know. So we are at Team Caden. So on TikTok, we're Team Caden. I post pretty often. It's either about autism or this topic, and sometimes just some boring stuff that we do at the house. But I just posted a video today on the importance, like Deidre is saying, sharing this stuff out, because it could be your kid's teacher that's going through this. It could be the most unexpected. I was the most unexpected person. Believe me, this could not have happened to me, and it did. And I was asked today, I got the most interesting comment that said, why don't you go back to living your life before CPS corrupted it? Why don't you try to be normal again? And I was thinking, well, I did that once, and CPS crept down my back very unexpectedly, and I literally almost lost my kid. So I'm not willing to live that way anymore. I don't walk around talking about it all day long, but I'm not willing to accept that there's a world that these people aren't just going to snatch your kid. So, I mean, that's just my theory. That's my story.
If you're going through it.
Real quick, again, a couple people that made some comments. Somebody said they need help with civil rights case. Well, sorry. Real quick, I just want to touch on that. The attorney that I'm doing the show under, he's also a civil rights attorney. So if you wanted to reach out to him, you can always call the number on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And you can get set up to maybe him about doing a civil rights case for you. But I always want to notate to people out there, because I learned this kind of halfway through my whole fight, is a civil rights case victory does not mean that you get your child back. And again, Dad, you wanted to say something real quick and I cut you off. So go ahead. Sorry.
No. Just if you're going through it, no matter what, whoever say, just fight. Fight. That's it. And it's not instant gratification. It's The race is not for the swift, it's who can endure it. They will literally drag you through the mud, take you through hoops and all kinds of stuff. Just endure it. Just keep on fighting. Don't let anyone tell you and try to discourage you. Stay on that path. If you love your kids that much, everything will come out in the wash. And sometimes it's hard to believe, but we did it, so it can be done. And that's really what I wanted to reiterate.
And to end that note with what you had to say is our children actually need us more than we need them, if you really think about it. So don't give up on them.
Never.
Because they really do need us more than we need them. They really do. And I thank you both for coming on my show tonight. And I apologize anybody out there for all the hiccups. And hopefully next week I'll finally have all the kinks worked out. But again, Stephanie and Dad, what is your name? I don't know what your name is.
Dane Lee. Dane Lee. I go by her Cowboy. So, you know. I go by her Cowboy.
Okay, well, if you guys ever want to come on my show again to give any kind of update.
Of course.
Okay, there you go.
Of course. It's
sorry, we're
Cowboy. That's your new nickname for me.
Kids are okay.
Cowboy is your hubby's nickname for me, so I can remember. But if you ever want to come on in the future as my guest again, I would love to have you. Any kind of updates or anything that you guys are working on, of course, I would love to have you on. And in the meantime, anybody that wants to be a guest on my show in the future, I do these shows every Wednesday at Pacific. If you call the number on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and ask for Grace, so she can get you scheduled for one of my future shows, then you can come on and share your story or anything that you would like to share about CPS. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in, and come back next week to see more guests share their story. All right, Stephanie and Cowboy, thank you again. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you,
all right, Grace, you can end it.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.